I don't trust a fiscal commission when Chuck Schumer is going to appoint half the people. Or
Yeah.
maybe even between Biden and Schumer, they'll appoint more than half the people. It's just going to be a stalking horse for a tax increase. And tax increases, empirically speaking, they tend to make things worse because the economy slows a bit and politicians, they respond to the expectation of higher revenue by spending more money. They can't help it. It's like putting blood in the water with hungry sharks around. So I think higher taxes, even though on paper it might lead to lower deficits, in reality, it leads to more spending and higher deficits. Now, I don't go to sleep or wake up worrying about deficits. I worry about the size of government.
Yeah.
Whether you're financing government with borrowing, that's bad. If you're financing government with taxes, that's bad. You're financing government with printing money, that's bad. Our fiscal problem 100% is government is too big and it's growing too fast. And we've talked before about how fiscal policy should be very simple. Just make sure that if the private sector is growing this fast, make sure government grows less than that. Now, the bigger the gap between the growth of the private sector and the growth of government, the faster you solve your fiscal problems, the faster you reduce the burden of government spending as a share of economic output, the faster you wind up with a budget surplus instead of a budget deficit. But controlling the growth of spending is the only solution. If I thought for even 1 second that a fiscal commission would endorse something like Colorado's taxpayer bill of rights, that spending cap, or if they would endorse something like Switzerland's debt brake, that spending cap, I would be cheering from the rafters. But I'm not optimistic that we'll get those kinds of policies. Instead, I worry that we'll get something like the old Simpson Bowles from about 10 or 15 years ago. Lots of taxes and then some price controls on the healthcare entitlements. And of course, the price controls, they have a half-life of milk in the Texas sun in the summer. They don't stick. You have like these doc fix gimmicks and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, there's no real change in the burden of government. And of course, my nightmare scenario is you actually get even more government because once, as I already said, once taxes are on the table, the politicians can't help themselves.